And then after you've had a chance to go out and start looking at these homes, hopefully at some point you're like, oh my God, I found one. And it's like finding the right person to marry. And it feels great. You get excited, right? So now you've got to do a little bit of determination around that. But how do you decide what's the right one? We always recommend that you work with your agent to come up with a must-have and a nice-to-have list of things for your home. Now, for some people, that might mean, okay, how many people are in your household? That might first determine how many bedrooms you need. Okay, how many people are in my household? What else do I need? Do I need an office? Do I need a guitar room? Do I need a play space? Do I need, there's a number of different things that have to do with every individual lifestyle that's out there. So you really want to look hard at what those things are for you and then start that on your must-haves. Oftentimes I ask people, how many butts in the kitchen do you need to have? And that's because some people really, really don't like galley kitchens where you can basically get one person in the room at a time. And they don't want to be going back and forth, because a lot of couples like to cook, or maybe you're like me, you're single and you love to have friends over and you want a bunch of people mixing around inside the room with you. Lots of people love these open concept type of homes. So you want to think about what that space looks like for you. And of course, by the number of bathrooms, some people, don't just think about how many toilets you might need, because I have that conversation with people a lot. But if you have a significant other, do you care if it has dual sinks? Because I've had that conversation with someone where they're saying, oh, I can't stand his shavings, leave stuff all over, or their toothpaste, or their whatever, or they leave their makeup, and I don't have any room. And, it just depends, right? Everyone's lifestyle and what's happening in their life is different. Some people are like, I do not want to have people walking in my bathroom when I'm entertaining. So be thinking of those types of things. You also want to decide if you want to do all the searching or if you want your agent to help you with that searching or working some kind of combined tandem operation on that. And the reason I say that is because we have a lot of different options available for you. And when you're interviewing agents, you want to ask what are all the different tools that they have for finding a place. And I say this because for some of you on the call, not everybody on this program is buying here in Washington. So I'm saying this in kind of a general sense. So everyone has different tools available to them. I know for us, and my team's going to laugh at me when they see me pick up my phone because we have a mobile app. They're over there laughing. But we have, there's in our local area, there's the multiple listing service portal, which unfortunately or fortunately, because it's so big and it's been around for so long, they couldn't just turn it into a mobile data type of app because there was just too much for it to try and convert. But they did come up with a thing called Home Spotter that is an app we can send to people's phones, and you can look and you can message back and forth. You can send us what you're interested in, all of that kind of thing. The portal also allows people to send notes inside the body of that. And what's fun about being able to use Home Spotter is you can come up with whatever search criteria you want and then alert us for that. Because sometimes people start to play with the parameters, right? Like you're going to give us a first set of parameters, but then you might want to play with it a little bit because if you're not finding actually everything that you want, or maybe you want to start considering another town over or something, you can play with it without having to have us do all these machinations on your search and just first see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then, no big deal. I can tell you as an example today, though, one of our clients has some very specific parameters on her search. And I go through and do what I call concierge on it. And I'll look specifically for all the things that she's looking for. And only if they match everything will I send that to her. And then when I do it, I make sure and text her immediately because I know she's at work, right? So then I text her immediately, say, hey, check your email. I just got done sending you 3 great new properties to consider. And that was really helpful yesterday because we did that. And she went out with Rick on our team and looked at some properties. And now we have an offer that we're waiting to get submitted. So, you have to figure out what is the right pace and communication styles for you guys. Also, homes are like history. People know I'm famous for saying that all the time. And they're also like humans. So you may find that certain kinds of homes tend to speak to you. I say that as an example. I know Laura and Antonio, who are on this call, you guys went out with Bebe on our team recently, and it was newer construction that you guys tended to relate to a lot more than some of the older style. And that's because every era was built differently and they come with different kinds of features. So unless it's, say, a 1920s craftsman that's been completely remodeled and opened up, otherwise that house is going to be really choppy and have things like the kitchen cut off, and maybe it's going to have a weird set of bedrooms, or maybe it's a finished attic that has weird ceiling heights and a bunch of things like that. Whereas a house that was built from 2000 to today, it's going to be pretty traditionally a 2-story with most of the bedrooms up on 1 floor, 2.5 bath minimum. They come with very kind of consistent features in certain decades. And you can certainly narrow those down, or you might be like me, who I like a lot of different housing types. So it just depends on what speaks to me. I've had a house in 5 different decades now of different types. So, it just depends. Homes are also like humans or like bodies. Their attractiveness, we'll say, is often determined by how good a long-term maintenance they've received. I joke because my house is about the same age as me, and I think we both had pretty good upkeep. So I think that's always kind of fun. And then, of course, I brought up earlier determining your lifestyle needs, because one type of home isn't always going to fit every kind of need that's out there. And be open and adaptable, because again, maybe you like that open floor plan, but you didn't think you would like a split level. Well, a lot of single story and split levels right now are having their configurations changed by either flippers or just people who've lived in them over time. So sometimes they become more appealing than they used to be for someone.